Stay up to date with what's happening in North Central Washington. Go to the NCW Life Community Calendar at ncwlife.com.
It's time for NCW Life News on the NCW Life channel. The latest from the Wenatchee Valley and North Central Washington with Steve Hare, Grant Olson, and sports with Eric Granstrom.
Good evening and welcome to NCW Life News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. And wasn't it gorgeous today? Lots of blue sky out there. Temperatures not quite at 60. We did see a few scattered 60s around North Central Washington, but for the main portion of our area, upper 50s for high temperatures today. And I'll tell you what, it is going to remain nice. Just a little bit of a glitch in our weather tomorrow, as we will see a weak cold front move through North Central Washington. That'll increase our clouds throughout the day, but chances of showers will mainly be in northeast Washington and the panhandle of Idaho. Only about a 10% of showers here in the Wenatchee area, and we'll tell you about much nicer weather to come in your weather forecast. We will also give you a peek at our upcoming winter weather forecast, that a little bit later on as well. And for those watching on our Facebook, tune in to Local Channel 12 or Charter Channel 19, or you can stream us live at ncwlife.com for the full evening newscast tonight. And now the few of the stories we're following for you. A group of protesters staged themselves outside of Chase Bank yesterday. Moses Lake Police make a drug bust from 2 locations, and Douglas County slates its Canadian trash decision for November. Later on, we'll have sports, your weather forecast, and our feature story today. But first, in the end, the voters will decide if the Eastmont School District should change the name of Robert E. Lee Elementary School. Last night, the school board heard testimony from both sides of the argument during a public hearing at a packed junior high school auditorium.
And we're embarrassed about how we might have been in our historical past. What about just worrying about yourselves and your present time attitudes? And quit worrying about being embarrassed about the insignificant things when people in that era that we're discussing were doing the best they could with what they had. General Lee was highly respected by the North as well as the South. And this whole thing of making it a racial issue is just a cop-out to keep people emotionally involved in this society.
To have kids, our kids, it is our job as parents to teach them about the history, but leave it as history. There are, personally, I have 12 kids here, and out of those kids, they've been called racist names. I can't even count as high, how many times. And usually it's the backdrop of Lee School. They can go there and play basketball. I live right up the street. And if we spent more time teaching our kids better manners, proper respect for a person's culture and their race, this issue wouldn't even be taking place. Get rid of the name, change it. I guarantee there's somebody in the state, in this area, who is well more deserving than a Confederate slave owner.
In all, over 16 people testified at the hearing, followed by board discussion. 3 of 5 board members were in favor of changing the name, but instead of taking action, the panel opted to put the issue before school district voters next year. And taking a closer look now, Eastmont School Board members addressed the Robert E. Lee debate directly, with each representative explaining their perspective on the controversial issue.
His name reminds us of a tragic and difficult time in our history. This name reminds us of that tragic past, of mistakes we shall never make again, of rebirth, and of a complete allegiance to the truth that all men are created equal. As such, I oppose name change. This name does not endorse any amoral or racist view. This name does not injure anyone in any way. This name does not in any way detract from the good work that goes on inside that building. This school, as with all Eastmont schools, is proud to have a diverse student population. And this name does not in any way, real way, diminish our commitment to serving all children.
In terms of the name change of the building, there's been a lot said about numbers of people that are in favor of or favor constituents, I would like to see that put to a vote by our constituents. That's what I would say.
It's a very divided issue. I think it's going to take us some time to make the decision. I don't agree that we are being forced to make the decision, but I do agree a decision needs to be made probably for the safety of our kids. They will always come first for me. I think this is something that will be decided tonight, personally. That's my opinion.
I am under the opinion that I would like to leave Lee as Lee to honor him. Someone spoke tonight and said he made a mistake for choosing his family and supporting his state. That mistake, I don't think, defines who he was as a man. We as human beings are perfectly imperfect, and one decision shouldn't define him totally. I don't believe that he was racist. I believe he was supporting his family and the states where he was. I am not in favor of a name change. But I would say I'm not opposed to putting it to a vote of the folks that put us where we are. I mean, ultimately, it's your decision, and I, too, appreciate everybody for coming out here and explaining and telling us how you feel.
I also believe that we have spoken about putting it as a vote to the people. I agree with that. I agree with my constituents that I serve out there, and I agree with my board that I serve with right here. Is it going to take time? Yeah. Because the one thing we're not going to do is we're not going to be bad stewards of the money that each of you property owners give us. That means we will not put a special election on the ballot. We will wait until our next general election to be able to do that. Because it's the difference between hundreds of thousands of dollars and a small amount of money. Some of you are going to be angry with our decision, and I'm sorry for that. But I also want you each to understand that this job is not easy.
In other news, demonstrators are taking their anti-big bank protest to the streets of Wenatchee this week. The group Coalition Mazaska Talks is prompting supporters to protest global banks during the international meeting in Sao Paulo, Brazil. The group targets banks that fund pipelines and oil extraction projects that infringe upon the rights of indigenous peoples and cause environmental tragedies. We met up with the group leader, Kevin Kane, and a character named Mr. Moneybags.
We're here today to call on the banks to stop funding climate change disaster, as well as stop funding tar sands pipelines that trample on indigenous people's rights across the globe. What we're doing is asking individuals, faith groups, corporations, businesses to move their money out of Wells Fargo or Chase banks to a bank or banking situation where they're not contributing to climate change crisis.
Fossil fuel man, he's pretty sad, isn't he? And the reason why he's sad is that he's got an addiction. And his addiction, you see that oil coming up there? He's sucking all the oil out of the entire earth. It took hundreds of millions of years for that oil to be locked into the earth. And now he and a lot of other people are taking it all out.
The group will be out again tonight at Wells Fargo Bank on Valley Mall Parkway at East Wenatchee, and will finish the protest outside of Wells Fargo in Wenatchee. An investigation that began on Saturday culminated in another huge heroin and weapons bust in Moses Lake yesterday. Following the investigation, the Moses Lake Police Department was able to obtain and serve search warrants at 2 Moses Lake locations, one at a residence in the 1400 block of Marina and at a converted office space located at 110 West Broadway. At the private residence, law enforcement seized $3,800 in cash and illegal steroids, and at the business space, 11 pounds of heroin and 6 illegally possessed firearms were seized in that raid. 2 Moses Lake residents were booked into the Grant County Jail following the bust. They are 50-year-old Leo Dabalos, who was charged with delivery of heroin, possession of heroin, and 6 counts of a felon in possession of a firearm. Also arrested were 34-year-old Andre Balderos, who was charged with delivery of heroin and possession of steroids. Moses Lake police say over 50 pounds of heroin and methamphetamine with a street value of over $1.5 million have been taken off the streets just this month. Coming up, Douglas County slates its Canadian trash decision for November. An avalanche threat closes the North Cascades Highway, and we'll have an update on the mudslide on the south shore of Lake Chelan. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching NCW Life News.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Having a relationship with your pediatrician is so important. Feeling that sense of trust, that is priceless. I tell everybody about CBCH. I love it there. When I make an appointment, I don't have to take an entire day off. As a working mom, my life is really busy. Family time is everything. That's what we all work towards. And I feel like CBCH respects that.
Welcome back. Chelan County PUD commissioners will be in Chelan tonight to discuss ongoing plans to build a new electric substation to serve the lake's North Shore area. The existing substations in Union Valley and Wapato are nearing capacity. District officials say a new substation is needed in order to redistribute existing electrical load and to anticipate further growth during the next decade. Last month, PUD staff provided an update to PUD commissioners on 2 sites under consideration. Staff identified 2 areas and worked with property owners to secure property options on 2 parcels. One off Boyd Road, 2.3 miles from the intersection with SR 150, and one off Henderson Road. Tonight's meeting is at the Chelan Fire Station starting at 6 p.m. Douglas County commissioners say they will wait to decide how to respond to Waste Management's plans for importing garbage from Canada to the company's East Wenatchee landfill. The delay will allow the county more time to deliberate on issues relating to potential risks to the region's tree fruit industry from trash that's transported into the Wenatchee area. Commissioner Steve Jenkins says the county's options are limited due to previous legal challenges.
Into litigation last time, years ago. The SWAC, the Solid Waste Advisory Committee, turned around and voted not to accept any imported garbage from any county. And I don't know at that time, it's been 20, 25 years ago. I don't know if they actually sued or threatened to sue, but anyway, the federal ruling is that you can't limit private industry, and that's a commerce. And so you can control the health and safety issues, but you can't control their business for them. And so we lost that, and so our only safety deal now is the TAC Executive Committee on for pesticide protocol.
Jenkins says commissioners will be meeting with officials from Okanagan and Grant County prior to their November 6th meeting when they will take action. Well, because of heavy snow over the weekend, the Washington State Department of Transportation has closed State Route 20, the North Cascades Highway, due to high avalanche danger. The highway is closed in both directions just east of Diablo, and the DOT says it will reopen at 10 a.m. on Wednesday. Locations along the North Cascades Highway picked up over a foot of heavy wet snow Saturday and Saturday night. South Lakeshore Drive remained closed today as Chelan County Public Works crews continued to clear debris from Sunday's mudslide. The roadway is restricted to local traffic only. You're watching NCW Life News. Coming up next, your sports update, followed by today's feature story. That and much more still to come on NCW Life News. Stay with us.
Travel enhances your life in every way. Let the travel professionals at Journey Travel and Tours help you plan that dream vacation. Don't leave the important details to those nameless, faceless online agencies. At Journey Travel and Tours, our goal is to build relationships that last a lifetime. And when you do need help, we have a 24-hour helpline that is routed to one of the agents in our office. When you think travel, think Journey Travel and Tours. It's where your journey begins. Like us on Facebook, and you could be one of our monthly winners.
So, how you guys doing?
My job starts in Portland in a month.
Can we find a buyer that fast? I think we're good. Our CBX app tells us who the best potential buyers are. We can pinpoint where the hottest prospects are located, right on this map.
2 cities over.
It even lets us set the most accurate price.
Wow, it really does all that.
It really does all that.
Well, help us pack?
We're working on that.
And now it's a sports update on the NCW Life channel.
And a happy Tuesday. Here's what's on the prep schedule for today. First of all, in soccer, Cascades on the road at Chelan, Oroville hosting Manson, Kashmir at Okanagan. And tonight here live on the NCW Life channel, Eastmont and Wenatchee. Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wiesen will have your play-by-play. The Panthers have already secured the regular season Big Nine title in a way-to-play-in game to determine a first-round district opponent next week. The Wildcats, on the other hand, trying to solidify fourth place in a home play-in game Saturday. After tonight, Eastmont finishes at Eisenhower Thursday night. Currently, the Wildcats sit 2 games behind Moses Lake for third place and are just a game in front of Davis for fifth. On the volleyball courts tonight, Thorpe Easton is at Entiat as the Tigers try to remain undefeated. Manson hosts Oroville, Cascades at Chelan, Eastmont at Wenatchee. I'll be along Leanne Branham for the play-by-play. We're going to tape this one, have it for you later on here. The Panthers have locked down the number 2 seed heading into the Big Nine District Tournament. Wildcats still battling for a number 3 seed. Eastmont currently a game in front of Ike, whom they'll host Thursday night in the regular season finale. A third-place finish would mean the Wildcats would host a play-in game next Wednesday. Also today, the Wenatchee Panthers slow pitch softball team in a tournament in Yakima at West Valley. It's the Big Nine culmination tournament followed by their championship tournament. Wenatchee finished as the regular season champs at 14-2, a game in front of Moses Lake at 13-3. Hey, just a reminder that we'll be out to the Apple Bowl Friday for our own live tailgate party right here on the NCW Life channel. I'll be along Grant Olson for live Bridge of Sportsmanship pregame show. That'll start at 6:30 from the Apple Bowl. We'll bring you the sights and sounds of the annual clash between the Panthers and Wildcats leading up to the 7 o'clock kickoff. By the way, if you want to get your tickets early for the game, they're on sale now through the athletic office at Eastmont and Wenatchee High Schools. Well, it was quite a predicament near Portland today as the Portland Pickles proclaimed they're preparing to be part of the Pacific Northwest Premier Summer Collegiate League.
Thank you guys for joining us today. We really appreciate everybody coming out on a weekday morning, but we were really excited to make a few announcements today. And we've got multiple things we wanted to talk about. I think the coolest thing and one of the most important we want to discuss is we've been accepted into the West Coast Baseball League, which is the premier woodbat collegiate league in the country, and we couldn't be happier to be a part of it. This is the league. Thank you.
Now, the Portland Pickles proudly presented part owner Paul Ryan, punter for the Seahawks, as part of today's passing of prodigious proclamations.
We're the Portland Pickles. We're so excited to be joining the West Coast League. For me as an athlete, I've always been taught right from the age of 5 always to compete at the highest level. This is the highest level of collegiate baseball on the West Coast. We're going to put a great product on the field. Right now, I just want to put the rest of the league, the other 10 teams, on alert because Portland Pickles are going to win the championship, and we're going to put that out there right now. And that's what we want to do, is bring trophies to Portland. Big gaudy rings on our fingers is the goal. So.
Of course, the Wenatchee Apple Sox say it's preposterous for the Portland Pickles to pronounce themselves preeminent without proving themselves first. Seattle Seahawks coach Pete Carroll said Monday that after reviewing the game film of Sunday's win over the New York Giants that he was surprised at how the first half looked compared to the lack of production on the scoreboard. He said that actually moved the ball pretty well. Center Justin Britt sprained his ankle during the game, forcing Ethan Posick to move from guard to center for a few plays. He was happy about that. Seahawks prepare to host Houston coming up on Sunday at CenturyLink Field. Game 1 of the World Series is tonight. Dodgers playing host to the Astros, and personally, I'm rooting for Houston to knock off the Dodgers. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Grandstrom on the NCW Life channel. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Eric. Do you remember McKenna Schwab? She's the Wenatchee girl whose Make a Difference Day project benefiting Seattle Children's Hospital went viral. Well, she's hoping to repeat this year with another successful fundraiser. Last year, she partnered up with actor Chris Pratt to raise over $800,000 for the hospital. McKenna will appear on NCW Life's Life with Lisa Bradshaw program for a 1-hour special. McKenna talks about her remarkable fundraising achievement starting in 2011.
So that was our first year, and we called it a Kids Helping Kids project, and I asked my mom on the way home from an appointment, Mom, can I sell cookies and lemonade and give the proceeds to Children's? And we did, and it totally blew up, and it's been getting bigger and better every year. So.
In 2012, you collected 650 toys for kids at the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So did you get to deliver those yourself, some of them?
Because I'm a minor, I can't do that, but a lot of the toys went for like birthday presents and Christmas presents.
So they went throughout the year?
Yeah, and they went to their playroom, so to kind of supply that.
So they definitely benefited.
Absolutely, yeah.
So in 2013, you sold 530 dozen donuts and raised more than $7,500?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Did you eat any of the donuts?
Yes.
That would be the bad part about having a donut fundraiser is what do you do with the leftovers?
Yeah.
Hopefully you don't have any. So 2014, 33 red wagons. Tell me about the significance of the red wagons.
So for me, red wagons were the way that I got around the hospital because I was in giant spica casts, and they're less scary than a wheelchair, and a lot of kids don't fit in a wheelchair because of the giant spica casts, and so having the red wagons is a nice, more comfortable way to get around the hospital.
So then those hold a place for you, and you thought every kid should have a red wagon.
Yeah, because when you're at the hospital, there's in such high demand that they don't always have enough, and we were able to collect 33 red wagons and to fill the hospital with what they needed.
McKenna's goal this year is to raise money and supplies for Camp Corey, a recreational venue for children with serious medical conditions. She will be at Wenatchee Pediatrics Dentistry on Saturday to raise money for the camp. Tune in to Life with Lisa's 1-hour special highlighting local Make a Difference Day projects. Those shows are Friday at 10 a.m. or Saturday at noon right here on the NCW Life channel. We'll be back in just a moment with a recap of some of today's stories and your complete local weather forecast right after this.
Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house featuring great family dining in downtown Chelan. We've got burgers, pub fare, and the best barbecue around. Try one of our award-winning sauces made fresh here in-house. So grab the whole gang and come on down. Stormy Mountain Brewing. Beer, barbecue, friends, and beer.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
So, how you guys doing?
My job starts in Portland in a month.
Can we find a buyer that fast?
I think we're good. Our CBX app tells us who the best potential buyers are. We can pinpoint where the hottest prospects are located, right on this map.
2 cities over.
It even lets us set the most accurate price.
Wow, it really does all that.
It really does all that.
Well, help us pack?
We're working on that.
And welcome back. Because of heavy snow over the weekend, the Washington State Department of Transportation has closed State Route 20, the North Cascades Highway, due to high avalanche danger. The highway is closed in both directions just east of Diablo, and the DOT says it will reopen at 10 a.m. on Wednesday. Locations along the North Cascades Highway picked up over a foot of heavy wet snow Saturday and Saturday night. And now your weather forecast for north central Washington. Before we get to that, let's take another peek outside our weather window. And what a beautiful day today with crystal clear skies out there, light winds with temperatures hovering around the 60-degree mark. But before we get to our weather forecast, let's take a look at what maybe our winter will bring us this year. As we take a look at our maps, La Nina is a factor for us this year, and we'll talk more about that later on. But first, our satellite loop, a large ridge of high pressure, was over the region today for warm and dry weather conditions. Mainly clear skies and light winds made for a beautiful day today throughout north central Washington. You might as well get used to it. The ridge does flatten out tonight in response to a fast-moving disturbance that just clips Washington tomorrow. The front will increase winds slightly with gusts of maybe 15 to 20 miles an hour throughout the afternoon. That's possible. High pressure then rebounds quickly Wednesday night, and this will put the area in a dry northerly flow. Thursday through Monday, models agree with a strong upper ridge in place over the area for above normal temperatures and dry conditions. Keep in mind our normal high for this time of year is 57 degrees. And even though we will see some cold overnight lows, high temperatures for the next 6 days will be above normal into the lower and middle 60s. And finally tonight, even though the annual Oktoberfest celebration is over for the year, don't fret because now you can enjoy Bacon Feast. Norm's is our first director.
This has been NC
in Wenatchee tells us about the event, including all things bacon.
This is our first night for Bacon Feast, which is actually a takeoff of Oktoberfest. So everything bacon. Bacon pizza, bacon tacos, bacon wrapped scallops, bacon ice cream, which I can't wait to try a little bit later. I've never had it. Galen Goodman, he's the Jean-Pierre Red Pepper Lunchtime Chef Extraordinaire, who I've known for about 5 years now. Galen agreed to start producing wonderful food for us, and this is just the beginning. So we're really excited to get as many bodies who love bacon to come down here and give this a try. One of the things we thought about as we were preparing to put this whole thing together was, and I'm going to turn to the right a little bit, we're actually doing a canned food drive. What we'd like to do is have people bring in 3 cans of food, and we will buy half of one of your beers. We want to benefit fire victims, shootings like Las Vegas, blood drives, whatever the case may be, and we'll probably do a fun drive du jour. Now, I can't take credit for getting this started. My wife has some interest in the Bacon Feast idea, and so do Tony and Angela, the solution people here in town, as well as Brenda Pickering. So we've been talking about doing some really fun events around town, around the valley. Bacon Feast might end up becoming a real live event in Kashmir that might go on for the whole month of October or maybe all of summer. It'll absolutely be wonderful. It'll be something to benefit our community.
And if you have a video of the day you'd like to see on NCW Life News, message us on our Facebook page at the NCW Life channel. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around north central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. Also, tune into NCW Life Channel Monday, or I should say tomorrow morning, for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with host Dan Kuntz and all the latest news with Steve Hare. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us, and have a great night.
This has been NCW Life News on the NCW Life channel. For more news, log on to ncwlife.com, like us on Facebook, and follow NCW Life channel on Twitter.
Hey everyone, Frank Ferrari here at Frank's Used Cars, where everybody gets a good deal. Today's deal is F-150 under 300,000 miles. Yesterday, $55.95. Today, it's only $213. At this price, this thing won't last long. Hurry on down to Frank Ferrari's Used Cars, where everybody gets a good deal. Right, Fred? Forget about Frank. Here at Town Nissan, we're fun, we're fair, and we're fabulous. Town Nissan, behind Costco in East Wenatchee. Hey everyone, Frank Ferrari here at Frank's Used Cars, where everybody gets a good deal. Today's deal is F-150 under 300,000 miles. Yesterday, $55.95. Today, it's only $213. At this price, this thing won't last long. Hurry on down to Frank Ferrari's Used Cars, where everybody gets a good deal. Right, Fred? Forget about Frank. Here at Town Nissan, we're fun, we're fair, and we're fabulous. Town Nissan, behind Costco in East Wenatchee.